Many years pass after the fall of Chief Obudele. The people of Kamaru City try to forget what happened in the mansion with the buried wives, the strange trauma in the earth, and the God that roared beneath their feet. They rebuilt the broken gates, swept away the cursed soil, and told themselves it was over. The mansion, ruined and empty, became a place no one dared to enter. The children dare each other to touch the cracked wall. The old women selling herbs still cross themselves when passing by, but the ground never truly forgot. And some depths, no matter how long you bury them, find their way back to the surface. Far away in a quiet village by the river called Afo Obala, a boy grown up. His name was Abasi. He was born on the night Zina freed Kamaru under a broad red moon. The midwives swore the river stopped flowing for a moment when he let out his first cries. His eyes were dark as the deepest well, and his skin carried a mark, a tiny swelling of red on his palm, shaped like a coiled snake. His mother, Zina, raised him quietly, teaching him old song and forgotten proverb. She warned him never to turn your back on the earth. Listen to the wind, it carried the voice of the ground. But as Obasi grew, strange things began to happen. The trees whisper his name, shadows follow him, and in his dream, an ancient voice called, "Child of the coastline, return to me." Meanwhile, back in Kamaru, the city has grown. The streets bosom with cars and market stores, and new grass building reach for the sky. But something was wrong. At night, the earth will haunt again. People began to disappear. Not like before. Not wives of chief, but poor people, street vendors, beggars' children, one by one. The elders of the city remember the old days. They gathered at midnight in the house of Mama Sonto, the last living servant of Chief Obudele. Her voice was weak, her eyes blind, but her memories were sharp. "It's waking up again," she said. "We buried it with the woman's bone, but it never truly left, and now it calls for the child. The child born on the night it was sealed." The elders trembled. "Find the boy, or Kamaru will fall." Obasi, now 17, was strong and sharp-eyed. He could hear things no one else did. The weeping of the earth, the sign in the wind, and the oak song in the rivers. One night, as he sat by the river, a voice spoke from the water. "Obasi, child of the blood, come to Kamaru." The river still. Obasi heart pounded. He told his mother, but her face turned pale. "I know these days would come," Zina whispered. The earth never forgets its depth. She told him everything about Chief Obudele, the wives, the buried bone, and the old god beneath Kamaru soil. "It is calling you because you carry the mark," she said, showing him the swollen on his palm. "You are the one born of the blood and broken curse. You must finish what I began." Obasi felt both fear and fire in his heart. He would go. Return to the city. Under the cover of darkness, Obasi entered Kamaru. But Kamaru was not as he remembered from the stories. It has changed. Taller buildings, loud cars, brighter lights, but in the corners, in the gutters, in the old part of the city, he felt it. The earth paused. He met a girl named Adinu. a street-wise market girl who speak with a quick words and sharp eyes. She knew things. She had seen people vanish. She had heard the earth horn. "You are the one it's calling," Adino said, staring at his palm. Together they began to search for answer, asking old women, listening to the winds, following strange sign. A tree that bleed like blood, a crow that spoke in riddles, a stone that turned warm in Obasi's hand. They learned that a new chief had risen in Kamaru, Chief Barawi, and he too was hiding something. Obasi and Adinu discovered that Chief Barawi was a distant nephew of Chief Obudele, the last of the bloodline, and the old god had made a new deal with him. Now, instead of wife, he offered the lives of the poor. Every month, a soul was taken into the earth to feed the ancients below. The earth under Kamaru was hungry again, and this time it wanted Obasi. Obasi held Adinu's hand tightly as they ran through the dark streets of Kamaru city. The wind blew softly, and the ground under their feet felt warm and shaky. "Where are we going?" Obasi asked. "To the secret place," Adinu whispered. "There is an old tower under the city. The Grant talks there." Obasi was a little scared, but he remembered what his mother told him. "Be brave, my son." The earth listened to the song. So he took a deep breath and followed Adinu. They reached a very, very old tree behind a market. The tree had no leaves, and its branches looked long, thin arms reaching for the sky. People in the city said the tree was magic. "This is it," Adinu said. "The door is behind this tree." Obasi looked closer and saw a small hole in the ground. It was just big enough for them to crawl through. Suddenly, the tree moved. Its branches waved gently, and a deep, kind voice came from the tree. "Obasi, Adinu, the ground is waiting." Obasi's eye grew wide. "Did the tree just talk?" Adinu nodded. "It knows your name. It knows what you must do." The tree bent down, and its branches pointed to the hole. "Go now, children. Be strong. Do not be feared the darkness." Obasi and Adinu held their hands and climbed down into the hole. Inside the tunnel, it was very dark inside. The tunnel was long and quiet. The walls were made of old stone and soft earth. Water dropped from above. Obasi could hear the ground humming. "The ground is singing," Obasi whispered. They walked for a long time. Then they saw a small light ahead. It was a lantern sitting on a stone, and beside the lantern sat a little old woman. Her hair was white, and her eyes were kind. She wore a red cloth on her head. "Welcome, Obasi," the old woman said. "I've been waiting for you." "Who are you?" Obasi asked. "I am Mama Sonto," she smiled, "the last servant of Chief Obudele. I know all the secrets of the ground." Mama Sonto stood up and picked up the lantern. "Follow me, children," she said. She led them to a big round room under the city. The room was made of old stone, and the floor was covered with names written in red. Obasi read some of the names. Nne, Ama. Those are the names of the missing wife. Adinus cried. Mama Sonto nodded sadly. "Yes, and many more." Now Chief Balawi is taking poor people too. He feed them to the earth to stay rich. Obasi felt his tummy twisted. We have to stop him. Mama Sonto smiled. Yes, but first you must meet someone. She knocked on the wall 3 times. Come, come, come. The ground shook a little. A stone door opened and a soft light came from inside. Go in, Obasi. A very old friend is waiting for you. Obasi and Adinu looked at each other. Let's go, they said together. They stepped inside. Inside the room, it was bright like the sun. But there was no sun there. The air smelled sweet, like flowers. In the middle of the room was a big pool of water. And in the water was a face. A face made of light. He smiled at them. Obasi, Adinu, welcome, the voice said. I am the spirit of the earth. I have been waiting a long time ago. Obasi felt warm and brave. Why are you hunting people? He asked. The spirit looked sad. I am hungry because bad men like Chief Obudele and Chief Balawi made me bad. They promised me people and I took them, but I don't want any more. I want to rest. Then stop, Adinu said. The spirit sighed. I cannot stop until someone brave break the chain. And you, Obasi, are the one with the mark. Only you can free me. Obasi looked at his hand. The red mark was shining brightly now. What must I do? Obasi asked. The spirit smiled. You must find the 3 lost stones hidden in the city. They hold my old magic. When you bring them to me, I will sleep forever, and no one will disappear again. I will do it, Obasi and Adinu shouted. The spirit's voice became soft. But beware, Chief Barawi knows you are here. His eyes is everywhere. Suddenly, they heard a loud bang above them. Mama Sonto ran in. Children, hurry, the grands are coming. Obasi and Adinu grabbed each other's hand and ran out of the room. Obasi and Adinu held their hands tightly as they ran out of the bright room behind them. The ground roamed. The bad guards were coming. They were men in black clothes with mean face and big stick. Quick, this way, Mama Sonto shouted. She lifted a small wooden door in the floor. Go through here and find the first magic stone, she called. I will hold them back. But Mama Sonto, Obasi started to say. Go now, child, she said, smiling. And so Obasi and Adinu jumped into the hole. In the small tower, the tower was small and dark. They could barely see the front of them, but the red mark on Obasi's hand started to shine like a tiny light. Wow, your hand is growing again, said Adinu. It's showing us the way, said Obasi. They followed the shining mark. The tower twisted this way and that. It was like crawling through a giant snake belly. Suddenly, they saw a soft green light ahead. Look, the first stone, Adinu said. There it was, a small shiny stone sitting on a rock. It was green and round, and it sparkled like a star. Obasi picked it up. The moment he touched it, the ground shook softly. The earth was signing. 1 down, 2 to go, Obasi said. Up above, Chief Barawi was sitting in his big, shining house. His clothes were red and gold, and he had many rings on his fingers. He was very hungry. "Where is the boy?" he shouted. His guards were scared. They bowed low. "We are looking, sir. We are searching the towel." But the chief knew something bad was happening. He looked at the big mirror on his wall. Inside the mirror, a dark face appeared. It was the old angry spirit. "The boy has taken the first stone," the spirit. "If he find all the tree, your power will be gone, and I will leave this city forever." Chief Barawo's face turned red with fear. "No, stop him," he shouted. "Send the shadow men." And so the chief called for his most dangerous guard, the shadow men. Those were tall, dark fingers with no face, only empty eyes that grow white. They could walk through walls and hear every sound. "Find the boy. Bring me the stones," the chief ordered. The shadow men melted into the ground like smoke. Obasi and Adinu keep moving. Back in the tunnel, Obasi felt a cold wind on his neck. "Adinu, something is coming," he whispered. "Run," she shouted. They ran fast through the narrow tunnel, but soon they came to a fork two paths. "Which way do we go?" asked Adinu. Obasi looked at his growing hand. The light pointed to the left. "This way," he said. They ran left. Behind them, the shadow men were getting closer. Obasi could hear their voices like hissing snake. "Obasi, give us the stone." But Obasi and Adinu kept running. At the end of the tower, they saw a tall wooden door with a tiny carving on it. The carving were of animals, rivers, trees, and stars. Obasi touched the door and it opened by itself. Inside was a small room, and in the middle of the room sat a giant growing bird. Its feathers were made of shining gold, and its eyes were bright and red. The bird spoke. "I am Ikunu, the golden bird. I guide the second magic stone. Who dare enter my room?" Obasi stepped forward. "I am Obasi, child of Zena. I have come to save the city." The bird looked at him kindly. "I have been waiting for you," said Ikunu. "If you are brave enough to take the stone, you must answer my riddles." Obasi nodded. "Ask me," he said. The bird spoke softly. "I fly without wings. I cry without eyes. Whenever I go, darkness follow me. What am I?" Obasi thought hard. He looked at Adinu. Then Obasi remembered the stories his mother told him. "It's a cloud," he said. The golden bird smiled widely. "You are wise, young one," it said. "Take the stone." The second magic stone flew down into Obasi's hand. It was blue and round like a tiny moon. Obasi felt the ground rumbled again, his palm growing brighter. "Now only one stone left," said Adinu. But before they could leave, the shadow men were waiting at the door. "We found you." Obasi and Adinu held their breaths. The shadow men were standing at the door. Their bodies were tall and dark like smoke, with no face, only bright light eyes. The room was very cold. "Give us the stone," the shadow men hissed. Obasi felt the blue stone in his arm grow warm. He squeezed it tightly. Adinu grabbed his other hand. "What do we do now?" she whispered. Just then the golden bird flew its big, shining wings. Gold light filled the room. The shadow men stepped back. "No one dare to harm the children in my room," the golden bird shouted. "You cannot hit them forever, bird. The shadow men hiss and they melt into the ground like dark pounders. Obasi and Adinu let out big signs. Thank you, the golden bird, Obasi said. The golden bird nodded. Hurry, little ones, the last stone is in the old well by the river. But beware, the ground is watching you. Obasi nodded bravely. We will find it. Obasi and Adinu ran out of the room. Down the dark towel. The ground shook softly under their feet. The earth is angry, Adinu said. We are almost there, said Obasi. Up ahead, they saw a ladder leading up to the street. They climbed out of the tower and into the night. The city was quiet, the streets were empty, the moon was big and round in the sky. Quick, the old woman said. Adinu pointed at the old well. They reached the old well near the river. It was round hole with stones around it. People said no one should go near it because strange sound came from inside. Obasi looked down into the well. It was very dark. The last stone in it there, he said. Adinu frowned. How are we going to get it? It's too deep. Obasi thought for a moment, then he remembered the red mark on his palm. He held his hand out over the well, and his hand grew bright red. Suddenly, a soft voice came from the well. Child of the mark, are you ready to take the last stone? Yes, I am ready, Obasi shouted. The water inside the well started to grow, and a round purple stone floated to the top. Obasi reached out and grabbed it. The moment he touched it, the whole city shook. Lights in the city flickered. The wind blew hard. The ground growled. Far away in his big house, Chief Balawi saw the stone growing in his magic mirror. His face turned red with anger. No, they have them all, he shouted. The angry spirit inside the mirror growled. If they join the stone, you will lose everything. Stop them, the chief growled. But it was too late. The shadow men had already failed. In the sky, red cloud gathered. The trees burned in wind. Adinu grabbed Obasi's arms. Obasi, what do we do now? Obasi looked at the three stones in his hand. Green, blue, purple. They shine like a tiny sun. He remembered what the spirit of the earth said. Bring the stone to me and I will sleep forever. We have to go back to the spirit's room, Obasi said. But the city is shaking, Adinu said. Obasi took a deep breath. We can do it together. Obasi and Adinu held the three tiny stones together in their hands. Green, blue, purple. The sky stayed red. The wind blew. The ground shook like a big drum. Boom, boom, boom. Obasi, look, Adinu shouted, pointing at the sky. A huge dark bird with wings was flying above them. It was not like the golden bird. This bird was big, black, and scary. Its eyes were red like fire. That's Chief Barawi's bird, cried Adinu. The bird let out a loud scream. Crew! It shook down, trying to grab the stone. Obasi and Adinu run. This way, shouted Obasi, pulling Adinu towards a small, narrow road. The big dark bird hit and flew back into the sky. As they ran, a little old woman stepped out from behind a big water drum. She had a white hair and a kind face. She wore a long wrapper and no shoes, but her eyes sparkled like stars. Come here, children, she said. Obasi stopped her. Who are you? I am Mama Mabel, the old woman said with a smile. I have been waiting for you. Adinu looked at Obasi. Can we trust her? The stone in Obasi's hand started to grow brighter when he looked at Mama Mabel. Yes, he said. She's good person. Mama Mabel opened a small bag and took out a yellow powder. Hold this, she said, and she blew the powder on her hands. Poof! Suddenly, Obasi and Adinu felt light, like feathers, and the bird could not see them again. Hurry to the spirit room, but careful, Chief Barawi has one more trick. What trick? Asked Obasi. Mama Mabel looked up at the sky. The ground is no longer safe. The trees will try to catch you. Run fast and don't look back. Obasi and Adinu nodded. Thank you, Mama Mabel. They shouted and they ran. As they ran through the trees around them started to move. The branches stretched out like long arms. The reef wrestled like whispering voice. Catch them, the trees hicks. A branch swagged at Adinu's head, but she dodged it. Another branch grabs Obasi's shirt. He pulled away. Run, Adinu, Obasi shouted. They raced towards the broken building where the spirit room was hidden. The ground shook harder. The trees chased after them. The dark bird flew over their head, but he could not see them because of Mama Mabel's yellow powder. Almost there, cried Obasi. The broken building. Finally, they reached the broken house. The doors was hanging up, dust below out. Inside, the spirit room grew with soft light. Obasi grabbed Adini's hand. Come over. They run inside. The steel stone floated out of Obasi's hand and hung in the air. The spirit voice filled the room. Child of the mark, you have done well, but now you must face one last test. Obasi gloomed. What test? The floor opened up and a black mist came out. A finger rose from the mist. It was Chief Balawe. He looked angry. His eyes were red. His body was half man, half smoke. He could not stop them. The chief growled. I buried my wives. I buried the babies, and I will bury you too. Obasi stood tall. You will not hurt anyone again, he shouted. Adinu stepped behind him. We are not afraid of you. Obasi and Adinu stood in the spirit room, facing the smoky, angry Chief Balawe. His red eyes glowed. His voice was deep like thunder. The ground shook under his feet. You can't stop me, Chief Balawe shouted. The city is mine. The earth belongs to me. Obasi held up his three glowing palm and the three magic stones floating around him. Green, blue, and purple. You are wrong, Chief. Obasi said bravely. This city belongs to the people and the earth belongs to no one. The power of the stone. The spirit's voice filled the room. Obasi now raised the stone. Obasi lifted his arms. The stone go faster and faster, shining bright light in the room. The smoky chief tried to run, but Mama Mabel appeared with her yellow powder. Not so fast, wicked one, she shouted and blew the powder at the chief. Poof! The chief screamed. His body started to melt like dark smoke. The spirit slept at last. The spirit spoke kindly. Obasi, say this word. The spirit of the earth go to sleep. Take no more to keep. Obasi and Adinu held hand and said the words together. Spirit of the earth, go to sleep. Take no more to keep. The ground stopped shaking. The red cloud in the sky turned white again. The wind blew softly. The stone floated into the air and disappeared in a bright flash. The spirit smiled. Thank you, children. You have saved Kamaru now. I will rest. And the spirit's face faded into the light. The dark chief was gone. The shadow men melted away. The big scary bird turned into tiny harmless cow. and flew off. The tree stopped moving. The earth hummed softly, but this time it sounded happily. Obasi and Adinu walked out into the morning light. People came out of their homes. The missing people returned to their families. The city smiled again. Mama Mabel hugged them. "You did well, my children," she said. The people cheered. Obasi the brave, Adinu clever, they called. Obasi looked at his palm. The red mark was gone. "It's over," he said. Adinu, "No more bad chief, no more angry earth." Obasi nodded. "We will protect this city together." They both laughed and walked down the streets as the sun rose over Kamaru. The city was safe again, and the earth slept in peace. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. It means a lot to me. Thank you.